Yes, please. Welcome back to another great episode of my watch therapy, which is really our watch therapy. It's therapy for me, and I hope it's relaxing and interesting for you. We've got a knockout. You must have heard of this, but if you haven't, obviously this is a Citizen, says it right there, but it is part of a style and line called Tsuyosa. Tsuyosa, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a moment to connect with this super good looking timepiece from Citizen. Oh, yeah. Sorry, there she is. Look at that. I got a blued screw in the middle, Cote de Genève striping on there. You can see that beautiful jewel with that gold balance wheel just knocking back and forth. Some more blued screws there. Japanese movement, 41 hours. Awesome. Tell you what, this whole watch line, this Tsuyosa line, is just a home run. They have a great one that's yellow. They got one with a blue, but this might be my favorite. Sorry, with blue, yellow and red, I believe. And this being the blue, I believe it's definitely my favorite. I mean, look at the patterning on the dial. It's insane. Look at that. Very, very cool. And I think the small seconds works. Not always a fan of it. Not always a fan, but I think it works here. I like that it's blue, of course, a little small seconds hand. And indices are loomed. And I also really, it just looks a whole lot like a much higher end Citizen. When I say higher end, being this is $595 at the TikTok Time Shop. I'll put a link in the description. They've kindly loaned it into the channel. But Citizen, you may or may not know, has a line called The Citizen. So very boringly, it's called Citizen, The Citizen. And they have an automatic watch, obviously have some quartz watches, but this case design is so similar. And those of you who have watched some of my videos, and again, these are like $5, $4, $5, $7, $8,000 watches. And this one, you may be reminded of my The Citizen that I own. So let's do a little side-by-side comparison. I just think the case shape is reminiscent of each other. So here they are side by side. This is The Citizen. So this is a $7,500 watch originally. The world's most accurate watch ever made. The Citizen, like, literally makes their own tools, makes their own steel. I think there's like 40 employees or something like that that run this whole shebang-a-bang. But you kind of look at the case style. I think it's got some similarities. This case kind of protrudes a bit over the edge. This one is just, makes that dial the central piece. But you can see some similarities. I'm not saying they're the same watch, but you can just see the genetics running through these watches. This one right here I love dearly, but I am moving it on, so it is for sale. If you're interested, just send me a message in the comments. But for now, we've got this one, and there's just so much to love. And one more time, let's look at that price. $595. I mean, this thing is gorgeous. This is very comfortable. Now, I'll tell you, for some reason, I just don't feel like the bracelet kind of matches the watch. I thought of it's a little more like aggressive looking, and this is more of a kind of a gentle, more dressy watch, in my opinion. But let's just kind of get it on wrist. I'm not saying it looks bad. It looks great. I just think it's just, I'm not sure if it matches the watch as well as it could. So I don't know. There it is. I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist. Awesome. Super nice. So lastly, I would just say the wrist feel. I think there's something to that. The feel of this on your wrist is so comfortable. It's so planned to the proportions just right. Crown is hidden there so it doesn't gouge you in the wrist. It just feels great on wrist, and I think that's worth a lot. So this is the Citizen Tsuyosa Automatic, and this has been my watch therapy. I'll put a link in the description. Like I said, it is for sale, and I think these are becoming a little more rare, finding them brand new, that is. But here's one right here, worn by yours truly. I'll even sign it for you. Just kidding. Take care. Have a great rest of your day. I appreciate you watching.